Hello everyone and welcome to Retail Archaeology. Today we'll be taking a look at the Outlets at Anthem. This is a large outlet mall in Anthem, Arizona, which is about 30 miles north of Phoenix, Arizona. Let's go ahead and take a look at the map, and I think this may be the largest mall map I've ever seen. This is at the front of the outlet mall, and you can almost read it from your car when you drive by. This place is fairly large, but most of it is outdoors. And holy crap, they've got paper maps. I haven't seen paper mall maps in ages. This is a first for me. This is a rattlesnake's warning sign, basically letting people know if you see a rattlesnake to please contact security. Here's the Levi's outlet store, and as I'm sure you've noticed from the footage already, there is not a lot of people here. There are quite a few fountains though, which we'll take a look at in this video. This is a smaller one. I love the sounds of fountains. Let's take a closer look inside. It's actually a lot simpler than I thought. It's just a PVC pipe running up the middle of a big concrete pot. I've never been to this outlet mall before, and I've gotten a lot of messages and emails since I've started this channel letting me know that this was an outlet mall that was dying or that it's dead. And it's finally the time of year where it's nice enough to start checking out some of these outdoor malls. I will say my first impressions of this place is it seems like it's officially a dead mall to me. It has a lot of vacancies. This mall was built in 1995, and it's owned by the Craig Realty Group. They own several outlet malls throughout the United States. Now, that's kind of where my research ended on this mall. I had a hard time even finding the year that it was built, and I'm not sure that the Outlets at Anthem is even the original name. Anthem, Arizona is a large master plan community, but that wasn't developed until 1999. I'm also not sure if the Craig Realty Group is the original owners. I kind of doubt it because from what I read, they built their first outlet mall sometime around 1995 or 1996, and that was in California. And this mall here was built in 1995. I just had a really hard time finding any history or information on this place. The way this mall is dying is kind of interesting to me. Normally, I see malls when they're dying, they kind of start dying from the outside, like where the anchors are, and then the rot kind of goes in towards the middle of the mall. But in this case, all of the vacancies seem to be located in what I guess you could call the interior corridors if it was an indoor mall, whereas the stuff along the outside edges seems to be doing a little bit better. It really was a gorgeous day when we were filming here. We were here on a Sunday afternoon, and we got here about 1 p.m. and we were here for a couple of hours, and I don't think I broke a sweat the whole time walking around outside, so that's fantastic. That's one of my big complaints about these outdoor outlet malls is they put them in Arizona where it's like the surface of the sun for a good chunk of the year. So I kind of expected it to be, a little bit busier than this since it's really nice out. The idea of a Coach outlet store has always cracked me up. But here we've stumbled across another fountain again. This one's a little bit bigger. I actually really like this one. There is going to be a gratuitous amount of fountain cam shots in this video, so hopefully that makes up for some of the lack of history that I have on this place. This particular fountain had a mega amount of chlorine in it. We could smell it from where we were standing here filming. But let's go ahead and take a closer look at this one. Oh look, there's an empty bottle floating around. Let's go ahead and cruise on past the floating bottle there. I thought this was a really cool shot. Thankfully there wasn't anyone around to like stare at me and wonder what the hell I was doing. And there is actually a little bit of change in this fountain. There's a couple pennies there. We got about 13 cents in here, I think. Oh look, this mall has a rewards program. Don't see that at a lot of malls anymore. This is a really pretty mall, I think. I don't usually like this kind of architecture, but everything was pretty nice and clean and looked good, except for maybe, the dead grass there. But I see some landscaping flags there, so they're probably getting ready to seed for winter grass, maybe. Looks like the Haynes outlet store is having a sidewalk sale. Oh look, they're doing that thing a lot of dead malls do where they advertise a store in a closed store. But that's kind of one of the lamest displays of that I've ever seen. God, the light fixtures are kind of weird here, but they do scream mid-90s. It's just so big and open and empty around here. Now, I think that may be the biggest and fanciest looking Bath & Body Works I've ever seen. It's kind of interesting to see the Bath & Body Works sign not on one of their classic storefronts. See, the landscaping looks great here and everything. It's pretty rare when I come across a dead outlet mall that it actually still looks this good. I think what this place is suffering from is what kills a lot of outlet malls, though, is a lot of these ones that were built in the 90s, they built them out in far off areas. Like I mentioned, this one is 30 miles north of Phoenix, and there really wasn't anything out here when this was built. But since then, they've built outlet malls closer to Phoenix. So there's not really a reason to come all the way out to this one. It's pretty much the same thing that kind of killed the outlets at Casa Grande, where they built some closer to Tucson, and there wasn't a reason for people from Tucson to go out to that one, to go out to Casa Grande anymore. And here's another fountain. Unfortunately, we're only going to be able to listen to it because I swear I filmed the inside of this one, but the footage wasn't anywhere to be found when I was going through my SD card. Looks like there's a little photo opportunity here. Oh look, there's a Rocky Mountain chocolate factory here. Fun fact about Mark, his dad used to own the Rocky Mountain chocolate factory at Scottsdale Fashion Square. I also wish you could smell what we were smelling standing right here, because you could smell the chocolate and everything in there. It's pretty amazing. Now this little thing right here, it looks like they just brought this in. This is Santa's workshop for when they start doing Santa Claus pictures, which I was kind of surprised to see that malls are doing that. I feel bad for the mall Santas. I mean, I would hate to see them go away, but with the pandemic and everything, it just doesn't feel like a very safe job. And I tell everybody, wear your mask, but I feel like Santa pictures are going to look weird with everyone wearing masks in them. Maybe everybody just holds their breath for like 30 seconds. And now we've made our way to the food court. This outlet mall does have a food court. That's not something that I was used to seeing when I was a kid, but from what I understand, this is more common at modern outlet malls. This is also like right in front of the outlet mall, and it seems to be a lot busier than a lot of the other parts we've checked out so far. I say a lot busier, I mean it's obviously still not very busy, and you can see the tables are all still spaced out and everything. But there's an Auntie Anne's in here, so it smelled pretty good. It looks like they've walled over a couple of vacant spots here, but it's just this one row of vendors, and there's still a few here left. There's a Mexican food place, which I was gonna get, but then I saw that they had mall Chinese food, so that's what we ended up settling on. We'll take a closer look at it in a second. But then this was something I've never seen before, a Ruby's Express. Usually when I see a Ruby's, it's a sit-down diner. I've never seen one just be a counter at a food court before. And that smelled pretty great too. Something else I liked about this food court was that there was a lot of neon lights here. But like I mentioned, we settled on the famous walk there. As you can see, it's pretty much kind of the same stuff that Panda Express has. I got the beef and broccoli and the orange chicken, and I know Mark got the orange chicken, but I can't remember what else he got. Unfortunately, it wasn't as good as Panda Express. I bet during this mall's heyday, during the summer, it got pretty crowded inside this food court because it is climate controlled, so it's a nice respite, I'm sure, from the blazing sun outside. Notice the TVs were still working too. A lot of times when I'm in a food court at a dead mall, the TVs are there, but they aren't on anymore. Let's head on out of the food court now, though, and check out the rest of the mall. And there's actually a little mall kiddie train here. I was surprised to see that. It's something else I've never really seen at an outlet mall before, but it was actually running. We saw it going around later on. And here's another fountain. Do you see what I mean about gratuitous fountain cam shots? But there's actually some change in this one also. Looks like more change, maybe, sure, less than $1 still, but maybe 50 cents. From what we were told by a security guard, that sunglass hut is supposed to be just temporarily closed. I'm wondering what happened there because all the windows are boarded over. Oh, hi, Mark. Yeah, just look at how empty the middle of this place is. Another reason why I expected it to be busier is because it's an outdoor mall, it's beautiful, and I know that people are just looking for somewhere to go and something to do. And this is outside, so maybe they would feel like it's a little bit safer than going to an indoor mall, but that doesn't seem to be the case here. Here's a little interesting pass-through that we found. The restrooms were in here and some vending machines, but this goes through the building and then to where there's some covered parking on the other side of the mall. It's kind of weird because when you look at this, it just looks like a little mini chunk of a traditional mall. But the only thing you can buy in here is, you know, chips and soda and things like that. Ooh, look, I found a little skylight. Don't expect to see those at an outdoor mall. Something else that is interesting is that this little part here that we're looking at is kind of like an outbuilding to the outlet mall. It's still part of it. And this seems to be doing okay, this part. So this kind of just shows you another example of how the inside middle part of this mall is dying, but the outside seems to be doing okay. There's some people walking around. There were cars in the parking lot. Some of the stores were having some sidewalk sales. It does make it feel a little crowded though with all these racks out here. But then even still, now once we start getting towards the one end of this, things kind of get quieter. This I found pretty interesting, and it's something that I've noticed this year, is they set up polling places at malls. I don't think I've ever seen polling places at a mall before, and this was filmed after the election was over, but I'd be curious to know if that drew any more traffic into the mall. You know, this mall or any of the other ones in Maricopa County. We're now all the way over at the other end of the outlet mall. You can see the electronic sign from the beginning all the way there in the distance, but you can see the parking lot's pretty empty. I did find this interesting. I was like, why did they put these Christmas decorations all the way out here at the back of the parking lot? But these look like more photo opportunities. We actually saw people using the desert backdrop and those big things for Christmas pictures. And look, there's the mall train running. This was a pretty interesting place to visit. I'm usually kind of bored at outlet malls, but even though this one was dead, at least it was pretty to look at. I just wish I could have found more history on this place. Did you visit this place in the mid-90s when it first opened? Let me know down in the comments below. As always, everyone, thanks for watching. Want to see your name here? Head on over to patreon.com/Retail Archaeology to find out how you can help support the channel. Hey everyone, thanks for checking out my video on the Outlets at Anthem. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons, and also let me know if you'd like me to cover some more outlet malls. There are actually quite a few near Phoenix that I could visit, so let me know down in the comments below.